Bourbon Bite-Sized Learning for the month of March. Woo-hoo. Yeah, we'll see how March is coming in. Is it going to be a lion or is it going to be a lamb? Who knows? That was always a fun thing when I was little.
Yeah.
March was always a fun month for me. So I like the holiday in March, and I like, I don't know, summer's coming. It's a tease for summer. No more snow. I'm finished.
Yep.
So today we're making crunchy fish, and it says crunchy air fryer fish, but because everybody doesn't have an air fryer, we're going to show you how to make it in the oven. And the recipe, the calendar, has an adaptation for the oven on there. And then I'll give you the temperatures and a length of time for the air fryer as well. Okay, so I am Kay Denniston from the Bourbon County Extension Office.
And I'm Casey Wiley.
And we're glad you're joining us. Again, as we always say, we would love to hear some comments. It doesn't have to be a comment about this particular recipe, but any of the recipes that we've shared. We love to see your comments. We love the numbers for our reports. We like all that, but most importantly, we want to know how you have adapted it, or if honestly, we want to know if you don't like it.
Yeah. And remember, if you want to try all this, you can come in person now and hang out with us while we film each month.
So watch for the dates on Facebook. We'll give the date that we're filming because that won't be the same date each month. And that takes some coordination with our schedules and weather and some other things. So watch Facebook.
Schedule.
Watch Facebook. We will post when we're filming and what time, and you are welcome to come on in. We will say that if we say, like today, we were going to start at 9 o'clock, then at 9:05 we'll shut the doors. So because of the filming and the noise and all, we would appreciate if you could be on time if that's possible. Okay, it's always possible to be on time. Today we're starting out with fish, and it recommends a white fish. We're using tilapia, and we're going to, a couple of things, we're going to dry it real well between 2 paper towels, or I've got 2 on the bottom and 2 on top so we could soak up all that moisture. Plus I'm using gloves because this is one of those recipes that we want to be careful about cross-contamination.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be using tongs to do some of the breading. So we've dried this pretty well, and then we're going to do an assembly line. We're going to have an assembly line of spices, and then we'll do an egg coat for this bowl, and then we'll do some panko crumbs. We'll dredge it in that and then put it on. Because I'm limited in what I'm going to touch, and I didn't ask you this ahead of time, but because I'm going to ask Casey to help me out with mixing these ingredients for the spices. We're going to put the spices on here.
Okay.
We'll start out with the garlic powder. And then we will do the paprika, and then the chili powder. All of these so far have been half teaspoons. Then we start with 1/4 teaspoon of the chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of the onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of the salt. Now we have all of our seasonings mixed together here. And we are going to put those on, and we're going to put our egg wash in this bowl. So we can do our egg wash up here. I mentioned cross-contamination. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, as long as I don't touch anything but the fish, I'm good. But if I touch a utensil or something right now, I am going to contaminate the egg. So, okay, thank you. We're going to whisk this up a little bit, just enough that we can dip our seasoned fish in it. We're using a pound. That will depend on your family. Okay. It also might be something you just want to try first, and because some people may want seconds, and you may find out a pound wasn't good enough for you. So put this over here because it has been.
They're pretty. Tilapia is a pretty thin fillet.
Well, let's show.
Some of them are a little bigger.
It's very thin. through. You can almost see. You can
so
see
it's
through it.
translucent.
Some of the pieces are larger, but even then, there's the thin areas on it. Okay, so now we are ready to follow our ingredients with our little coating thing here. And we start out with the oil, I believe. Let me check my notes to make sure. Coat fish on both sides with the olive oil and then sprinkle with the seasonings. So we're gonna take this. This is something you could just pour over. It's a tablespoon. And because I've got gloves on, I'm just gonna do it with my hands. If you're not comfortable with that, then you can do it with a brush. But I'm just gonna rub it over it. This is a couple of reasons for this. This helps the seasonings stick to the fish. And we're gonna borrow from some others and use it all up real well.
I'm gonna go on and spray our pan.
Okay,
While you're doing that.
good deal. This will be baked in since we're doing it in an oven, it's a 400-degree oven, correct, Casey?
Yes, 400 degrees.
And I'm trying to not let these fall apart, but if they do, you'll just have two separate pieces of fish, okay? And now we're gonna take the seasonings and sprinkle over it. I'm gonna layer it out here. See, try to get both sides. I actually am going to take it off of the paper towel here, so it doesn't stick so much.
I love how versatile fish is. There's so many different flavor options and things you can do with all different kinds of fish. Whether it's a mild kind of fish like tilapia that you can add whatever you choose to, and it's gonna take on that flavor really well.
Another option for flavoring would be your breadcrumbs. Okay, you could use Italian flavored.
Yeah.
You could use breadcrumbs instead of the panko.
Yeah.
If bread's better, but I'll flip them over and we'll use the rest because I want to get all of our seasonings on here.
And fish is
No
so
waste.
good for you too. It's full of omega-3 fatty acids, and they actually recommend having fish twice a week in your diet because it is so good for you. It's such a lean, healthy protein option.
And it's one we don't get enough of. I mean, we're in the South, we're really good about getting our protein from meat, but we don't get that protein that we need from fish.
Yeah.
And it's got that good, like Casey said, the good fat and a lot of, it helps you, we also get a lot of sodium in the South, and the fatty, the unsaturated fats in here will help protect your body from absorbing some of that sodium. So that will get a lot of that from that processed meat we eat too. So now we're going to, and you could do by hand or with tongs, we're gonna dip this in the egg on both sides. Dip it in our crumbs. I like good crispy fish.
Yeah.
And put it right on there.
It's a little closer to you.
Yeah, it might be, we always try to talk about having the kids help with the dinner. I'd probably let them do the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
They can do all this.
Yes.
It depends on your limitations of how comfortable you are with making a mess in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's usually, I mean, we can clean it up, but do you have the time to clean it up? So the egg, they're gonna love. I used to always love cracking eggs when my mom would use them in the kitchen.
My girls love to crack an egg.
I don't know if you can see this or not, but because of that oil, all of those seasonings are staying on the fish as we dip it in the egg. It's not coming, some of the crumbs from my fingers are getting down in the egg, but that's okay, we're in the kitchen. probably should have done the largest piece first. That's what we get for doing live, but, oh yeah, there's nothing in there.
He can soak it up.
Oh, this is gonna come out just about right.
It's like the people that made the recipe knew what they were doing.
You might share with them that you just tasted the recipes.
I
for
did.
next year.
I had, so really good, yummy recipes. So
She's not sharing what they are, but she's just gonna tell us.
it's not finalized quite yet, but they are already working on the 2026 calendar, believe it or not. So those things have to get done fairly early, and
Well, then they have to be tested.
they have to be tested, and then they have to be photographed, and then it has to go to the print, which takes a while. So it is a rather lengthy process to get one of these calendars out, and so that's why we love that everybody enjoys them so much, because it's quite an ordeal to get these out. So, but they're great. So.
Now, I don't know if you can tell this or not, but this is a good example of the purpose of each ingredient. I got low on the egg with this one, and I'm having a little bit of problems with the crumbs sticking to it. So that, I mean, it'll still be good, but now you know the purpose of the eggs. The other good thing about wearing gloves is it's so much easier for me to get all this stuff off my hands. So I'm gonna, this is a little bit of a messy, but I wanted, this is when we're gonna put it in our oven. But if you're using the air fryer, one of the things that I've noticed with people using air fryers, and the questions I'm getting here, is most people don't preheat their air fryer. And you really should preheat it to the temperature. Now, there's not a light that's gonna come on like your oven. You just need to leave it on a minute or two. The higher the temperature, the longer you're gonna need to leave it before you actually put food into the air fryer, okay? So, but today we're doing this in the oven. We're gonna put it on 400 degrees, and we're gonna cook it for 12 to 15 minutes. If we were doing an air fryer, we'd do 145 degrees at 10 to 13 minutes. So, we will be right back with the finished product. 12 minutes later, or 15 minutes?
Yeah, I did 15.
Okay.
I did 15.
15 minutes later, we have a finished product, and it looks yummy, but we did check it. We need to check, and I need to clarify some temperatures on here for air fryer, oven, and then internal temperatures of the fish. Strongly suggest, you can tell it's getting crispy around the edges, but for safety reasons, the internal temperature of the fish should be 145 minimum. We tested it, and it was 149. And actually, I'll show you a little bit. You don't go like this to test the temperature. You'll go from the side and get as much of the same thing on hamburgers. That's kind of the way you do the hamburgers. Yeah. And it's like, it's been out for a while. It's 149.4. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we are safe to eat. And we cooked it in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Yes. If we were doing air fryer, we would have cooked it, we would have preheated the air fryer to 390 degrees and wait about 10 minutes, it recommends on your recipe, and then put it in the basket and cook it for 10 to 13 minutes. And keep a good eye on the breadcrumbs, it says, because the breadcrumbs will start to burn before, but I think we're fine.
I think we're good.
And then I got ready I pulled it out of the oven, and I said, oh, we need a dip, some kind of sauce to dip it in. And Casey knows one, so she's gonna share it with you.
And this is super easy. So this is just equal parts ranch dressing and buffalo sauce. I'm just gonna put them both in a bowl and mix them together. Just a super easy, simple, little quick dip. I like to dip things. I'm a dipper. So it's just quick and easy, and if the ranch kind of helps to cut the heat of the buffalo sauce a little bit.
Sounds yummy.
It does. This is also a really good dip for the cauliflower bites.
Oh,
Yeah, so
if you missed that, you need to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
That's been one of my favorite recipes.
Yes.
That was very yummy. Very, very yummy. And that is very, very hot. I don't know what I was thinking.
Just a little bit on the side there.
And look how much that makes. I mean,
that's
at
quite a
first
bit.
it looked really thin and it was just a pound, but those are pretty good size servings.
Yeah,
so.
those panko helped to beef them up a little bit.
And maybe you have a dipping sauce that you prefer.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're like tartar sauce, like whatever,
Yeah.
but or the vinegars, the not the apple cider vinegar, but
What is the malt vinegar?
malt vinegar. Yes,
Yeah.
I love malt vinegar
Yeah.
on fish. I like lemon on fish, but
yeah.
this is where we need your input as to what works best for your family, or if you change any of this, how you would change it. So I've said that enough. I'm looking forward to seeing some comments, people. I think I'm done.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
done?
I'm
We're
done.
ready to eat. So
We are, yeah.
see you next month. Make sure you tune in the first Friday of each month.
Yep.
And come by the office and get your calendar.
Yeah. Join us in April for what that recipe is, which
Right.
I can't come up with off the top of my head.
Well, I can check.
Oh, the lemon broccoli pasta.
Lemon broccoli pasta. That makes me think it even looks like a picnic. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
spring.
spring and summer. So
Yeah.
come back and join us.